Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Booked Out with Brie. And I have one of my favorite humans here with me today, Kat. Hello, Kat. How are you?
Hi, I'm fabulous. We're matching in our little hats today.
I know. I
It's
love
a hat
it.
day.
Oh my gosh. You guys, Kat and I go way back. We met years ago. We were
Mhm.
actually in the network marketing industry together. And I think that's where we both, we connected over being moms with big, audacious dreams and goals and just, full send energy. You know, when you meet those people where you're like, oh, hey girl, who are you? Let's let's be friends. That's how I felt about Kat when we met. And, our paths diverged as we kind of ventured off into different things outside of the network marketing company. But then
Mhm.
we came back full circle last year, about a year ago, I would say, Kat,
It
wasn't it?
was. I think it was about April last year. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow, that's wild.
I
Yeah. And Kat was
know.
like, you know what? I have a background in branding, marketing, social media, and I'm going to
hmm
go offer those things to business owners. And she started and launched her business in the VA Leadership Academy. And you guys, what she has built over the last year is insanity. She's now, known. People know her as the branding queen. She combines branding and energetics to help founders build brands, messaging, positioning that sells for them without conversations needed. So, Kat, welcome to the show. Yay, let's freaking go. I would love to start with your story. You have such a cool story, even I mean, just way back. Tell us about it. Like, I don't want to spoil it.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. This is so much fun. And like you said, full circle moment from, where we were before a decade ago to now and just, how our families have grown, how our businesses have grown and everything. So yeah, I've always really lived at the intersection of branding and aesthetics and marketing and energetics and positioning and fashion and art and sales and entrepreneurship and transformations, all the things, right? And I think now finally being able to encompass all of that together, literally running a fashion studio for business branding. So that is just like that line alone just gives me chills because I could never have predicted this. But I spent, I have a degree in fashion design and marketing. I spent time at Donna Karan, designed for DKNY, as well as, my own high-end leather handbag line, the decade of network marketing, really helping founders and business owners, specifically female business owners, because, we're a little bit more badass, seeing them struggle with how to communicate where they're at and their level, whether it was for their own company or selling someone else's product, as in the network marketing company, but really taking where they were at and helping them, create that trust and visibility and perception and level of authority to really up level their own game.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Okay. Like you guys, it's like every girl's, or maybe that's me, but like I always growing up, I would like sketch the like fashion and like create
Yep.
outfits. And I'm like, oh, I want to live in New York City someday and do that. And I'm like,
Uh,
you actually did that. You did that, Kat.
I did for 6 years. It was
Oh my
incredible. It was
gosh.
another lifetime. I
Yeah.
literally, my husband likes to say that I'm a city girl in a farm now because now life has completely changed with horses and looking for property and all the different things. But you can still throw me in the middle of Manhattan and stilettos and, a great winter coat, and I am a happy camper. I don't care if it's raining or snowing or what, but yeah.
Oh,
hmm
sign me up. Okay, so this is like unrelated, but inquiring minds want to know,
Yes.
is working in the fashion industry in New York City just like Devil Wears Prada? Like, is that really how it is?
It's very, very, very similar. Yes.
No way.
To the T, uh, as far as some of the leadership are definitely a Miranda, are definitely, like the leaders at Vogue, the Annas, things like that. But then you also have the leaders. My mentor at Donna Karan, her name was Brigitte. She's phenomenal. I met her when I interned there, and we stayed in touch ever since. Now has been almost 20 years. And, as I'd launch things, I'd touch base with her and, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And she just was one of those people that held on. And so I think that was really, I never really thought about this till now, but she was kind of the beginning of a mentor, and then made a very, very, very good close friend in the network marketing field. And then now you, and just having those key female roles in your life throughout your entrepreneurship, I think are huge. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay. I would love to hear how and when and why did you realize and you were drawn to, essentially taking your amazing skills and experience, finding the VA Leadership Academy, saying, wait, I can do this. And then
Mhm.
one of the things too that I definitely want to touch on during our time together is what I help all of my students with, and you've done like to a T and beyond, is to pick a lane, own it, develop your identity for that. So even if you're in the virtual assistant industry, you
Mhm.
are the marketing expert, the branding strategist, the funnel guru, and you've
Mhm.
really like picked your lane inside of this industry. So I'd love to, kind of start with the moment that you realize, wait, this is how I can like apply everything I've done in my life and my career. And then, kind of how you developed it into your own category ownership.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. I love talking about that. Um, it's interesting because it's like I said, very, very full circle moment. So when you and I got back into touch, it was after I had left the network marketing industry. I knew I did not want to go back to work for somebody. I did when my son was born, now almost 14 years ago, he went into daycare at 6 weeks old. He was the daycare baby of 6 weeks to 2.5 years until my daughter was born. And my husband and I agreed, like, we will never do that again. That's, there are some families that they have no choice. And at the time we had no choice. And, it is what it is. But we said, hey, with our daughter, if I can stay home for 6 months to a year, and then if we need to put her in daycare or some sort of childcare, whatever it may be, then that's okay. So that's when I found the network marketing industry, loved it, was like, hey, I can do this best of both worlds. Well, after 10 years of promoting other people's products, selling other people's things, building incredible relationships, as I said, um, I was burnt out, to be completely honest, trying to do, as network marketing has its incredible pros, but it also has a lot of cons. And it's not for everybody. And I realized, you know what? I'm done. So stepped away and kind of took some time off. I did a few things with Amy Porterfield, which was phenomenal. Again, an incredible mentor. Getting in the room with people is huge, guys. So whatever it is, whether it's a free course, a boot camp, a one-on-one thing, whatever it is, get in the room. And then got back in touch with Bree and was like, you know what? I need to do something to generate some cash. I know I have a lot of skills. Don't know what the heck I'm going to do with them. I'm like, but just show me your ways, give me your wisdom. So jumped into Vala and really realized that I actually had a lot more skills than I thought I did. Because you don't think about like, hey, I've raised kids for the last decade too. And I've ran businesses and I've done the books at home and I've kept humans and animals and not plants. Don't ask me to keep a plant alive.
Same girl.
Oh my God,
Bless
no way.
them.
Oh yeah, no. But you don't realize how much you can actually do in the business world, even though you've been at home or done something that was somewhat out of the box. So, being able to go through that program and really with how you teach it and the resources that you have, being able to pull out of myself a list of skills that one was like, oh, cool, this is amazing. You don't necessarily think of that for yourself where, I was so excited to show my husband this list of skills and he's like, well, I knew you could do all that. I've always believed in you. I'm like, well, thanks, honey. I love that. But now I can actually see that, yes, I can do all that. Um, so taking that, doing a handful of clients, but then again, realizing, hey, I still don't really want to work for anybody else the way I want to work for myself. I've always been a leader, somebody who dives in full throttle. I give it my all. And in the past, as many of you out there know that you do the same thing, that it's very draining. So I'm like, all right, what can I do for myself that can build something alongside the handful of clients that I have because I do enjoy them, but I don't want to pour my heart and soul into there. I want to give them what they need and what they want. And so that's kind of where first class came in, the first round. I've done 3 rounds of first class, which is just absolutely mind blowing for another conversation. But yeah, so that is where the high frequency studio was born, and really just kind of came to the realization that what I loved the most from the network marketing years, the mom years, the doing odd things for friends and family was, one, the community, because like I said, just get in the freaking room. And two, was the aesthetics, the branding, the energetics, the identity and the positioning that comes with that, and pulling that out of somebody, out of a client or a friend who's starting something, or, hey, Kat, can you create this for me? Can you create that for me? Yes, I can absolutely create it for you, but let's sit down first and like talk through this. Don't just give me a handful of colors that you like. Why do you like these colors? Where are they coming from? Let's talk about your positioning and your authority and your strategic visibility. And so that's kind of where it was all born from, long story short. I hope that answers the question.
Oh, yes, I love this. And I think, like, I loved when you said, I realized that I had so many more skills
Mm-hmm.
that you can monetize on than you had even fathomed. And I think that's
Oh,
what,
yeah.
so many women find when they come into this space. They come into
Mm-hmm.
Vala and they're like, wait a second, there's a whole
Yeah.
world here that I get to build on. So I
Mm-hmm.
freaking love that. So let's talk to, I would love to hear your take and thoughts on
Mm-hmm.
how you have seen your business expand based on you, picking your lane and then also
Mm-hmm.
owning and embodying it. Because I know something you and I both share a passion for is the identity work, and really starting with that and then creating strategy from that place. And I think you've been an amazing example. And I know just this week we had an
Yeah.
amazing one-to-one day where we stepped into a whole new identity level for you. So I'd love to just hear your thoughts on how you've led yourself through so many evolutions of your brand.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think I like to think of branding like water too, and ourselves like water, where if you have water that's just sitting there stagnant and stale, it's going to start to get gross and polluted. And, you say to your kids, don't ever drink standing still water, find a stream, find something that's running. If you're not evolving as an entrepreneur and as a creator and as a human, really, then what are you doing? You're just going to sit there night after night eating your whatever it is, watching the same show, complaining that you don't have a great life. Okay, well, get out and do something. I'm very much of the school of, you know, teach a man to fish as opposed to just giving them a fish.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. I have no problem helping you out and doing something for you, but you need to take it on yourself as well. So really, expanding from doing one-on-one branding packages and creating graphics and websites, which I do very much enjoy still, but realizing that that is the surface level, that is the aesthetics. A pretty brand is beautiful. You send your Instagrams or Instagram feeds or websites to a girlfriend and say, hey, oh my gosh, look at the photos, they're so pretty. Or check out this website. I really like what she did. But did they click and buy something? Or did they send that person a DM and, compliment them on it or ask a question about their offer or container? No, because it's just pretty. It doesn't actually mean anything. When you dive into underneath, you take out the decoration, and somebody can have that same website and that same Instagram feed that one doesn't have anything underneath, and then the other one is built with their authority, built with their positioning, their identity, their evolution over the years. And it makes such a difference. That's where you get the, hey, yes, I'm booking a sales call, but I know I'm going to say yes before you even answer the phone. That's where it's, creating brands into something that can speak for them, so to speak. Before you're responding to a DM on a story, you already know that by the time that ManyChat response gets there, you're clicking that link. You're saying yes. You're saying, hey, what can I upgrade to? I need space with this girl. She's awesome. And really just, having a spot in that well-rounded circle in that package has been a lot of fun and a lot of just mind-blowing, I love seeing everybody expand the same way. in that level, and what their take on it has been. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's like you help people sign more clients and grow their business, but you
Right.
do it from the inside out where
Hmm.
finally their branding and their messaging matches their next
Yes,
level identity. I'm like,
absolutely.
oh, every
Hmm.
woman needs this. Everyone go reach out to Kat right now. Kat, something else I want to reflect to you that I've seen in the way that you move, which is why you've created the business success that you have, is you
Hmm.
are not afraid to show up as the expert. It's like, and that's like one of the things of like, teach on what you do, host the
Right.
workshops, be
Right.
present, be visible in communities. And not everyone does that. And that's fine. We love that for them. But
Hmm.
the reason that you've, been able to sign so many clients, grow your business, fill your offers is because you show up as the expert, you teach on what you do, and you create invitations for them to take the next step with you. And I just want to like
Hmm.
see you and celebrate you in that because it's
Thank you.
like if you guys are listening now, this is a success hack, and not everyone I've seen has the
Right.
guts to just go and do it. And like, I think part of it is that we're like, oh, I'm not polished enough. I don't know exactly what to say. I'm gonna fumble. And guess what? Nobody cares as much as we
Nope,
think they do.
they
So,
don't.
can you talk a little bit about that too? Like, because you've
Yeah.
been, one of the things in Vala is we always give our members the opportunity to host workshops for our other
Hmm.
members. And you've like nailed that and like signed clients from it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like tell us about, even like leading yourself through that the first couple times where you're like, oh boy, but here we go.
Texting you beforehand, I'm sweating.
Like, go get it. You're
My
gonna be
mascara is running. What is going on?
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I very much believe that everything is mixed in together. So even as far as, just your Instagram feed, if you scroll back far enough, I don't care, go it. Scroll all the way back down to the beginning.
Yeah.
You're going to see the messy, the good, bad, and the ugly. And I think it is so much better to show up as yourself, even if it is messy, because your voice and your way to bring that frequency out of you is what matters. It's not what you're wearing. I mean, I have on sweatpants underneath this. I'm just
Look at that.
my t-shirt's going right back on when we're done. It's just, but that's me. I love sitting and cozy and, whatever it is and just, banging stuff out for clients and helping people resonate. But I also love the fancy and the fun and the heels and the New York and all the things that go with that. And people see that, so they see me tripping down the street because I do. They see me stepping in horse poop, on the field because we do. But, at the next photo or slide, whatever it may be, I'm also expressing my love of branding and energetics and, building something that's bigger than myself. And I think taking advantage of that is something not a lot of people do. And you can tell those that have different levels of success in business versus those that don't really took a chance on themselves,
Mhm.
and said, I
Mhm.
don't care if my hair's not done, my makeup's not done, I don't have my slides correct, what do you mean I can't have talking points? I'm going to ramble out the wazoo.
Mhm.
That's okay. And I feel like that's what's needed to be seen a whole lot more, especially today when everything is AI and, you know, positioned as, oh, well, that could be fake or that could be generated. Well,
Mhm.
no, this chick's real and she tells it how it is.
Mhm.
And she's good at what she does. And sweet, she will, absolutely take her coffee in the shower with her. Like,
I love that.
like it just little things
Yeah.
like that. I've actually had people DM me and go, oh my gosh, I could not for the life of me remember what it was you did, but I loved your story about taking your beer in the shower or your coffee in the shower. And then we end up having a full
I
conversation
love
and I'm
that.
like, oh, well, this is what I do. What do you do? Oh, cool. I can help you.
Yeah.
Let's hop on a call and chat. And whether that came to a
Amazing.
client or a relationship
Mhm.
doesn't matter because I touched
Mhm.
somebody. So that's what mattered. Um, but yeah, taking advantage of the visibility, but the right visibility, I think is a big thing too, to let people know that don't just jump out there to jump out there and be seen because a lot of times the most incredible brands are not the ones that are the loudest and the boldest and the fanciest photography and the heels and all the things. They're the ones that are the clearest. I mean, they could have a very plain slide deck, but they're getting the point across. And they're doing that because they did the identity work, the energetics work, they know what their brand stands for.
Yeah.
And same with, their website or their feeds. So I think doing that work on the back end and then jumping in with both feet and saying, I don't care what so-and-so thinks or what this person sees. I'm sharing my heart and my expertise, and hopefully it can touch somebody.
Beautiful. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Okay.
Thanks.
Before we sign off, because I know everyone who's listened is like, oh my gosh, I need this woman to help me with my branding. I want to go sign more clients. I want to have more fun. I want to show up bigger, but I want to do it in a way that feels genuine and authentic.
Right.
So,
Right.
on that note, I'm like cracking my knuckles here. Let's get ready. Can you walk through? You have three amazing opportunities to get started in your world, just depending on the level of support that someone wants. Can you walk through, just touch on each of those, what they look like and all the things?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, honestly, everything I do centers around the same, concept, the same key points, which is, really helping founders create a brand that communicates for them and communicates the level of expertise and their zone of genius before they ever have a conversation, before they get an email, have a sales call, any of those things. But yeah, right now, I mean, there's a few different ways to work together, any of which are fantastic. I would love the opportunity to have a conversation. We have a Vision to Vogue, which is my high-end, high-level creative direction and strategic branding experience. I'm so flippin' excited. I can't even tell you. We're elevating it beyond right now. It is a 6 to 12 month container, depending on what you're looking for. And it is just full creative direction and strategic branding and, on another level. Literally that Vision to Vogue is we take your small idea, your small vision or big vision, depending on what you've got. And we take it and turn it into, the big September issue of Vogue.
Oh
Because yes, back on that Devil Wears Prada note, I am obsessed. I have all the September issues behind me from, 20 years. And it just, because I know what goes into all of that. And that's what matters. And then we have the brand frequency experience, which is so much fun. We just turned it from, something that drops a couple times a year into an evergreen experience. So now you guys can come in at any time of the year, time of the day, whatever it is that's on your time in terms, which is more of a done with you positioning and brand expansion. And then we have the Brand Bitch, which is my brand new community, which I love, for founders that want more of a ongoing proximity and, the conversations with like-minded women about recalibration and different strategies. And, hey, they popped their website in, we just did this with one of our members last week. Hey, I dropped this in. Can you guys check it out? Let me know what you think. Okay, cool. All right. Well, can you give me your vision document too, so I can kind of match it up and see? Absolutely. This is great. It's a lot of fun. It's growing really fast. We just opened it in, March, I want to say. And it's one of those things that, we'll end up closing it up probably about the end of the year and then saying, okay, this is good for a while because I want to keep it small. And from that, decade in network marketing, as why you built the VA Leadership Academy, community is huge. So being able to be with like-minded women that are on the same level or want to get to the same level as others is just amazing. So that's where that lives. But yeah, like I said, just, here to help create and build that brand, strategically and aligned and fully positioned to do things before you even say a word.
Oh, I love this. I mean, every business owner needs that. So you guys don't be shy. Reach out to Kat. We'll make sure too in the show notes, wherever you find this episode, that you will be able to, have a conversation with her, check out some of the different options to get started in her world. And Kat, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you for spending time with me today. I'm so excited for my audience to learn more about you, to work with you, to experience your branding and frequency magic. Thank you, Kat. Thanks everyone for
You're
tuning
welcome. Thank you
in.
so much, guys.
So much fun. Amazing. And we'll see you on next week's episode of Booked Out with Brie. Bye, everybody.